Hello tanks and tankettes, and welcome to a pair of view replays. And we're actually starting off with Bert. Yes, artillery. No, wait, come back. It's not like that, I swear. Yesterday was a joke, really, honestly. The fact is, today I don't have a lot of time to sit down and record stuff, so I'm basically using some footage that was already recorded and sitting around on my hard drive. This is Mythical Dragon in the Bert, and we're actually going to, in this first clip, see some fun with the new physics. And it will be fun, I promise, or at least I think it was fun. In fact, both of these replays that you're going to see today have an element of the new physics in them. So the situation is, as you can see, there's not a lot of people left on either side. The last two actual tanks are about to meet face to face. There's Skoda T25 and the Chernu. And the Skoda, of course, has got an autoloader, so this is probably not going to go very well for the Chernu. The enemy Bert has also just driven across the cap circle, so we know exactly where he is compared to where he was last spotted. And the Chernu having gone down, well, it really is up to Mythical Dragon if he wants to try and do something about this. So he's just going to drive forward and derp the guy in the face, if it works. But there we go, at that range he'd be hard pressed to miss. And although this thing doesn't have a lot of hit points, he is able to at least take one hit. So now it's just Arty versus Arty. This is basically going to turn into a shotgun fight. So the enemy Berts actually whizzed all the way back to their cap to try and defend, and Mythical Dragon's first shot misses. But as the reload on this is so fast, he just dives forward to go around the building, and that is going to be sufficient time to get his gun loaded again. So that other guy's going to have to come around the building, but it derps into the building. Ooh, and the other one misses. However, then some physics happens. Yes. Now, I still don't quite know how it was the game decided that Mythical was the one to get flipped over rather than the other guy, but there you go. No Top Gun. That was rather embarrassing, really, wasn't it? However, the match isn't actually done yet. There's still this M37 who's sat back at the base, and this is actually like, I don't know, a minute later, something like that. So, this guy is, yeah, I don't think he's actually done any damage at all at this point in the match. I mean, he's now the last one left alive. It's still an Arty versus Arty fight, and we're another minute on. So, I don't know. Is the other guy defending his cap? The time's rapidly running out. It might be a draw at this rate, but there's the Bert. So, he actually gets spotted, possibly before he spots the M37, but no, actually. That kind of confirms that he has, in fact, also spotted the M37. Neither of them has a lot of health, so basically, to survive a hit... well, there's no way the M37 is going to survive a hit. Hell, the Bert could probably ram the M37. Although, that might not be advisable to try that again. The Bert is a fairly light machine. So is the M37, but hit points has got nothing to do with it when it comes to ramming stuff. It's all to do with the weight of the respective vehicles, and hit points is just, you know, kind of determines if you're going to survive or not. So the Berts actually come round behind him. The M37 is now, rather smartly, using that destructible house as cover, and actually just turns and snapshots the Bert, because why not? That was literally the first damage he'd done all game. But it won the game, so I don't know. I've got this vision of somebody sitting behind a keyboard somewhere, going in a Zoidberg kind of a voice, "Hooray! I'm useful." So yeah, there you go, 137. Yeah, that was yeah, he was the only survivor. Mythical Dragon, second place on the team, but nobody got massive amounts of XP in that one. And, well, it was more for the silliness of that Bert-on-Bert action that I picked this out. This was not a particularly serious replay at all. However, the next one is going to be slightly more so. We're going to have some light tank action. Now, I did mention there is going to be some new physics in this, some vision of the new physics. But you're not going to quite get to see lots of skidding around and cool maneuvers as such. It's more that this was... I was looking through light tank replays, maybe looking for something like that, and actually came across the Bert replay instead. But this one is still not a bad match at all. So this is Lemmy Sir in the LTTB, which is, of course, the Tier 7 Soviet scout tank. And this is a very good match for scout tanks if you want to sit and passive spot. But he's not really going to do that. He actually initially puts the pedal to the metal and decides he's going to spot the middle, which is the other thing that you can do. And there are arties in this game as well. There's one arty per team, so potentially he could be spotting and lighting targets for artillery here. But as it is only one arty per team, it's not exactly... I mean, it just depends. You never know, unless you're actually platooned up with the artillery, what exactly they're going to be aiming at. So he gets in a hit already. This is actually not ideal for this tank. The gun depression is pretty terrible. It's a very nice gun, but it's very bad gun depression. It's kind of like the Chinese scouts in that particular regard. But it's also very fast in a straight line as well. And of all the Soviet scout tanks, this is probably the one that maybe comes closest to being the spiritual successor to the T-50-2, but it doesn't quite have the same quality. I mean, apart from anything else, that was 2 tiers lower. Although, under the old Scout matchmaking, that didn't matter. It still saw tier 10s. So, apart from that one hit so far, there's nothing else much doing right now. I will say this is not going to be a particularly long match. Tries another shot on the move, but again, no joy. Well, having said again, no joy, he did actually manage to do that once already, so it's worth doing. I mean, it's not like this thing is... it's not got a huge amount of ammo, but it's got enough to waste a couple of rounds on shots like that. So it's just, again, trying to see maybe if he can get some side shots here, but the gun depression means he's really got to go forward. And there we go, takes that Yak Panther kill, who he'd already gone... I don't know what the Yak Panther was quite thinking there. That was a bit too bold, and he really got punished quite hard for it, and it really was only the kill shot that Lemmy got there. But still, a bit more damage and a kill, you know, that's all XP. He's also potentially getting some spotting damage out of this. Now that was very aggressive, pushing quite that far around. But he has lit up a bunch of tanks again, so... and there we go, a bit of skidding there. That's really the only time we see that kind of skidding on the new physics. But, well, I can see on the minimap that there's an ELC going for artillery. And Lemmy spots that as well, so he's actually now moving to intercept. There's no way he can stop the ELC from proxy spotting artillery. That's just not going to happen. But he might at least be able to save the arty from being killed by the ELC, because the ELC, of course, has got a very long reload. So it just basically plows in, does a bunch of ramming damage, actually gets tracked by the T-25-2, who's on the mid-ridge area. But although RT did survive the actual scout encounter, he then gets sniped by that self-same T-25/2. So it was a good effort from Lemmy. It was a good effort, but it wasn't enough to save his arty. And that ELC was actually very sneaky, managing to get through like that. Although it was a suicide mission. It did end up getting the enemy arty killed, but he personally won't have gotten a lot out of that in terms of score, because he didn't actually get the kill. Now the reticle goes a bit wonky here, I don't know why. This is definitely with server reticle turned off, so this is the replay itself that's a bit wonky. And as you can see, the enemy is now making a concerted effort to... It looks like try and cap, but that's probably not going to work. I mean, there's a lot of tanks left on both sides, but trying to cap when there is this many tanks left on both sides, it's not usually a good plan, and it's not going to turn out to be a good plan. Now let me decide just to be completely aggressive, and again, just, you know, just a bit of hot ramming action there, a bit of scout on scout action, why not? Goes in all gung-ho, again gets some ramming damage, we get to see a bit of the new physics in action, and there we go, takes out the IS-2. Oh, there's an MX-12T, another scout tank. And he's going at full pelt again. Yeah, sure, why not? Bit more ramming, why not? And actually manages to kind of clip the guy and kill him on his way past. Unfortunately, I mean, he takes his track off, but he doesn't actually take any serious fall damage there, which is incredibly lucky, because the new physics... I've seen some GIFs, and it's a little rough around the edges in places still. People making tiny little drops down, you know, very shallow inclines, or in one case it was somebody backing into a tree and then their entire tank exploded. And that's the kind of thing you expect from War Thunder. So yeah, there's still a few rough edges to deal with as far as the physics is concerned, but fortunately Lemmy got away with it. However, he has taken a bunch of damage from that VK there. He managed to bounce at least one shot, but yeah, he's burned a lot of his health at this stage, but he did manage to kill the guy in return. So he's still alive and kicking, and actually now on 5 kills. And he's not done a huge amount of damage for those kills, but still, it's not been bad. So it's now just the last couple of enemy tanks left, and it just remains to be seen if he can get a top gun. I mean, this is another link with the last replay, you could argue, because Mythical Dragon almost got a top gun, but not quite. Maybe Lemmy can do a little bit better. So he's aiming for the hull of that T-34 there, and instead it takes the side of the turret, gets another very nice hit in the side of the turret, but 5 health, well, he just needs one more hit and he can get that guy. However, at this range, that's a little bit of a tricky proposition. Tries to lead the target, but again, the gun, well, the T-34 stopped, and the gun, it's not the most accurate gun, this, and that just misses. He's probably not going to get the T-34 kill, is he? No, he's not. Okay, so that's one chance down. Type 59 still alive, however, and there's also the enemy artillery. So if he would just stop and aim, just stop and aim, Lemmy. Just stop and aim. Stop and aim. Stop. No. Oh, okay, never mind. No, okay, but there's still one more chance. There's still one more chance to do this, and maybe he'll even get to ram the artillery. Fires on the move, actually hits the arty. But there's a few too many tanks around here now. And again, fires on the move. Oh no. Oh well, he's dead. But at least this time, although the top gun was again denied, he lived. And he actually got a rather nice score out of it as well. So that was an ace tanker for Lemmy Sir there. No other medals, although he got a few ribbons, as you can see. And he did light up some tanks, but he didn't actually do that much spotting damage. I think the bulk of his XP there was from directly done damage, and also, of course, the kills. Nearly 2,700 damage. It's not actually bad at all, and I think it was the best on his own team. He also got 1,400 spotting assistance damage, but compared to the actual damage that he did, it's not a huge amount, is it? So I feel like he could have gotten a top gun out of that easily if he just at the end there been a little more patient with the Type 59, or if he'd stopped to aim at the artillery, because he actually did reload before the RT got killed. So I don't know, he kind of maybe screwed himself slightly out of a medal, but at the end of the day, it is only a pixel medal. It doesn't matter that much. So hopefully you've enjoyed this pair of replays, and if you have, you can leave any comments below. You can hit the like button, you can sub to my channel if you aren't already, and as always, stay tuned for more.